and the waters, which is Mayam.
Yeah, those are like Mayam, Alahayim. Those are words that you should know. There's some words that you should kind of know if you go through it. What was that? Aratazah, which is earth. All right. All right, let's read. You got something to say? Sapar means book. All right. Like a school, the main school in One West used to be called Bayath Sapar. Bayath, remember the word Bayath, the second Hebrew character, Ba, the ancient Hebrew character looks like a house or a tent. So the word Ba, you get the word Bayath, which means house. Sapar means books. All right? Which means the house of books. That's how we would say school. We wouldn't necessarily have a name for the word school in the Hebrew, but we'll say book house, a house of books. Actually, it would be Bayath Shal Sapar. Bayath, house, Shal is of, and Sapar is books, or Saparyam is books. Bayath Shal Saparyam is house of books. But we would just say Bayath Sapar, house book or book house. Because the thought of Shal, you don't have to say it, but it's already in the meaning. Because the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew or the Hebrew is direct. You don't have a whole lot of, like in English, you have a whole lot of other words, connecting words, adjectives and all that other BS that you don't need. The Hebrew language is a direct language. Like among Gad, they show the movies with Gad. Those are dialects of the Hebrew. If you listen, they lost the language, but they kept some of the words. Like, for example, in the book History of the American Indians by James Adair, he broke down some of the words. He said he found out that the North American Indians, which is the tribe of Gad, when they set a fire, they called it Ash. And they called their mothers Amma. And they called their fathers Abba. So there was a lot of, so he said from his conclusion, he said these people have to be Israelites. All right? Now, you got, I just want to say this, YT Politics on Daily Motion, he had made a video where he had a bunch of Edomites that were making their own videos, and I saw the woman, the Edomite-looking woman, but she might be a Jake. Then there was another dude that he looked like he was Irish, but he could be a Jake, and he was making a video, and I guess his wife came in, and he basically said, I looked and I did some research, and I watched tapes, and you know what I can see? That these white people that call themselves Jews are not the real Jews, but the blacks in America are the real Jews. This is a so-called white man. So people are waking up, you know? Yeah, say something.
Yeah, they're starting to see the truth because, like the scriptures say, in Ezra, it says that that the truth that has been for a long time without fruit shall be made manifest. You know, so that's what's happening now. The truth is going out. You know, and it's so powerful that there's even people that can't even withstand it. They can't withstand that power.
Yeah, because they're trying to set up this whole thing with this shooting out there in Tulsa, which anybody in the know that it was totally set up to pass some type of legislation. That's all that was, man. And the media is in bed with the with the U.S. government and Barack Obama, the fucking mutt. He getting ready to go to China to lick some gook's ass. That's why he's going over there, lick some gook's ass, because they're really doing bad. You know, like I said, I'll be surprised if this place makes it to the year 2012. If it does make it to 2012, this place might be destroyed maybe a couple months into 2012. They had over there in Tunisia, they were rioting for the last week, and you know what happened? The president just upped and left. They got the new president, man. He just up and left, man, because they were getting to him. And you see these riots taking place all around the world. And I said it's going to come here. Trust me, it's going to come here. It's going to come here, man. Bangladesh. Right, it said if it tarry, wait for it. It shall not tarry, it shall surely come. So we in that time. We don't have to wait no more. In other words, wait a little longer.
And the protests became
but he said,
violent.
at the end it shall speak and not lie. It's not lying. There's uproar and riots all over the planet Earth, man. You know? But anyway, let's get back into, let's go to the Torah, and let's read the 3rd verse. You know, it's a little hard at first, but like I said, if you don't have your own Torah, you got the internet, you got a Blue Letter. And the Spirit was on me a couple of years back to stumble upon that particular site, and I use that site, and I find that they even go off. I was reading it this morning, and they went off on a couple of words or left out a couple of words that they couldn't break down, and I picked up the where is it? I just had it. I picked up the Ben Yehudi dictionary and I found the word. You know? All right, go ahead, the 3rd verse.
Right, verse 3. It says, Waya Amar Alahayim Yahaya Awar Wayahaya Awar.
Okay, I'm gonna let the brother, that's a short verse, so that's pretty easy to go through.
Now you notice in the Hebrew it says Waya Amar, as the brother Elder Ramla was reading in the Torah, but in the English it says different. It says, and God said, but in the Hebrew it says, and said God, you know, Waya Amar. Anyway, and God, we're going to read it. What?
Can I say something on that? Yep. Subject. The word Amar is the key word. Right. The word the word Amar means say. If you speak, it's a different word. The word is dabar. So he's saying, and say, wa, and ya, right? Wa, ya, is a wa, ya? Wa, ya, wa is and, ya is he. Amar is say or said. Wa, ya, amar. And he said, and he say. Now the English is going to sound a little different. All right, go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, driving home the point that Hebrew is a direct language. And God, again, they should have powers there, Elohim, said Amar, which is different from the Hebrew word for word, which is dabar, or speak. All right? Let there be Haya, light, Awar, and there was light, Awar. So essentially it would be Elohim, Amar, Haya, Awar, Awar. All right, which is pretty direct.
Yeah, you have a term, I guess it's up in the North Pole, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Aurora Borealis, if I'm saying it. Aurora Borealis. Awar means light. So the beginning of that word is an actual Hebrew word. Borealis, I think, is Latin for north, if I'm not mistaken. We can easily look the word up. But it's a combination of the Latin and the Hebrew. So Esau uses Hebrew words in his English language. Sometimes he uses a combination of Hebrew and Latin and German. Right, lawyer is another one. Okay, so we're finished with that part, but we're going to still be in the blue letter. Now we're going to go into the scriptures. All right. Now, what I want to get into is if you go to Nate Satan, and we still going to call him Nate Satan, and we haven't really got on him, but we're going to get on his ass today because he's a demon at this point in time. That's why his homeboy got pushed to the side. The Most High breaking this thing down, man. But anyway, if you go to his page, speak for a minute.
Yeah, because this guy he still refuses to call on the name of the Most High. You know, he puts the name of the Most High out there, but what he's doing is he's mixing it up with other different names. The scriptures tell you that when the Most High's name is going to be one in that day. You know, you can't call on him. You can't call the Most High God and Allah and Yahweh and this and that and his proper name. You have to call him by what his name is. Then the same thing with the Heavenly Father's Son's name, Yahweh Shai. You know, you can't say Jesus and